I'm Elaine.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to
Legs Out,
And Away We Go. This is the podcast where we tell you about Formula One our way. The races, the cars, the drivers. We are obsessed.
And here's the way you should be too.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Elaine.
Welcome back to the week of Formula One. Yeah.
Immediately flung my mic pretty much across the room. Good.
Formula One is here. We are here. The races are here. Get used to it because this is about to be an epic season. We are about to talk nonstop about Formula One, and we only have a handful of days to go before we have our first race.
2026. I'm so freaking pumped. There is not enough hype. I'm overjoyed.
All right. So in true Legs Out fashion, we are going to jam pack quite a few things into this episode. Not like we were struggling for content in the off season, but now all of a sudden it feels like holy
a landslide.
Shit,
A
we have a lot.
deluge. Remember when we learned what that word was?
I remember when you learned what that word was. All right.
I knew it in a literary sense, not in an alcohol sense, but now I know both.
The luge, the ice luge where you pour the
and
liquor.
the Olympics.
Oh, yep. Uh-huh.
Anyway, tell us
Totally.
what we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about, well, we have quite a beefy newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the meatloaf newsroom today. We have Charles Leclerc. We're going to talk about a few unsavory things. We're going to talk about quality updates. But the meat of this episode, we're going to talk about the track, Australia. And I want to give my 2 cents on what happened on Drive to Survive.
Absolutely.
We can't ignore
not talk about it. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. I know you're dying.
I am so entranced with the marriage of Charles Leclerc and his new wife, Alexandra. I'm going to tell you something that is not great on his wedding day, but his ex-girlfriend, they look really similar, the current one and the last one, and so sometimes I get their names mixed up. But it's now Mrs. Leclerc, so I am so thrilled for them. The photos of this wedding are absolutely stunning. The car, Elaine.
Okay. Yeah, if we're gonna actually say the first thing we saw, it's the car.
Yes.
Her dress, obviously gorgeous. She's beautiful.
But she could have been in a potato sack in this car, and we would have said incredible, beautiful, 10/10.
There is nothing, but he basically married the car. Let's be honest.
Good choice, Charles.
Yeah.
Good choice.
That is the sexiest car, bar none.
Yes. Let me give you the stats. It's from the 50s. So when I looked at them and I was like, wow, these photos look like they're from another time. They did this beautiful shot of them driving along the streets of Monaco, his hometown, and it just looked like this was like an old school racing movie in this 1957 Ferrari 250 Testarossa. Like 22 of these were made.
Ugh.
I think all of the emotional turmoil that being a Ferrari F1 driver is maybe made worth it by the fact that you get to, on your wedding day, drive that kind of car.
Okay, is that? Yeah.
I'm not saying this is like a 1-to-1 perfection trading of ratio emotional damage, but like, how many people can say that they got to drive that car on their wedding day?
Yeah, one, Charles Leclerc.
And maybe some of the like richest people in the world, I don't know, there's 21 other of these cars apparently, but that is such a rare, beautiful detail to add. I just,
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. No, it's stunning. And apparently this was their civil ceremony. So this was like the signing of the papers, the exchanging of the rings. Side note, she's going down like the Titanic if she ever goes swimming.
Yes, which I did not realize you were looking at a photo of the ring when you said that. And I was like, what? Oh no, is she unwell? Like what happened here?
She's sinking straight to the bottom. Immediately.
Like, she's a lovely human who seems to be a good partner for our wonderful Ferrari driver. What do you mean?
No shade. I'm sure she can swim. But with that rock on her finger, girl, that like 10 carats holding you down, she's going to need a floating device at all times.
Or like an equal ring on the other side. Because I feel like at that point you'd be like unbalanced. Like she needs to go to the gym and make sure she's like doing the other side with a dumbbell, a barbell, and
her lats. Girl, they're going to be so strong.
Yeah.
holding her up.
Ripped, and you married Charles Leclerc. Man, what a bargain. That's the dream.
Good workout. What a dream. All right. From something so beautiful to talk about to, as Rachel lovingly called it on our spreadsheet, the Eek files.
Yeah, so much of Formula One is like escapism, is entertainment, is this like fun, extraordinary thing that we get to learn about. But at the end of the day, Formula One is still a really political sport, political within its own milieu of craziness, but also we've brought the actual world stage politics in.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Elaine.
Well, I mean, when you say the files, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yep.
The Epstein files. When I talked to Rachel this past weekend, I told her that I wanted to bring this up because it's newsworthy, it's noteworthy, it's important, and there's a reason that we don't forget history. So I just want to out some people. I feel like we need to talk about this. I just think it's important because we don't need to gatekeep. It's all out in the open. It's sourced credibly, so it needs to be known. First person on the Epstein files related to Formula One, Ernie Ecclestone, the longtime head of Formula One Group until 2017. Wow, Ernie, what you doing? All right, next person, Lawrence Stroll.
I don't want to say that people have a reputation, but I must say I unfortunately was not surprised.
Pause for reaction. Yes, that's the surprised reaction that we get.
But a little more surprising than the next person you have on the list.
Yes, Alpine team principal Flavio Briatore.
As if we didn't need more reasons for him to get out.
This was the
Dude,
first
you're banned
person.
from the paddock. Like, get out.
This was literally the first person that I was like, of course he's on the list. And the last person is former F1 driver Eddie Irvine.
And also John Todd, apparently.
Oh, and John Todd. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Connections that I'm not pleased to know about.
Now, it is my journalistic duty to tell you that not all of these names on the list means that they had direct communication with Epstein or that they did anything wrong. And some of these people, as the files state, only received packages. They say a lot of these people, in fact, received packages worth $50. Yeah, we can't know what that means. Some of them, it was just a package and there was no other contact. Lawrence Stroll did have contact, including his ex-wife, Claire Ann, who had emails with Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, she apologized in these emails for not visiting Little St. Jeff, which is a reference to Epstein's private island, which makes me want to vom.
Okay.
But who did have multiple emails is Flavio Briatore.
Yep, make of that what you will.
Multiple emails in which Epstein refers to him as my sweet Italian friend.
This is like the dark side to our sweet Italian teenager, Kimi Antonelli, who I hope never comes into any of this.
The Eek files.
The Eek files.
His name will not be on the Eek files.
Nope. Stay away out of that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for bringing us the hard stuff, because this is an incredible sport that we want to always believe the best in, but unfortunately, humanity still exists. So here we are.
It's the truth. It's out there. Get used to it. This is the theme.
I'm not getting used to it, actually. I will not get used to this. But something that we will have to get used to is some quality changes.
This I'm excited about. Tell me.
Just a little bit of extra padded time because we now have 22 drivers racing around this track. However, I will say, time was added to Q3. That is our last round of qualifying. That is when we will have the least amount of drivers on track. And I am confused why you wouldn't extend Q1 as opposed to Q3. Q3 used to be 12 minutes. It's now going to be 13 minutes. Love, I'm excited to see more Jeopardy within that longer time, but confused about where they decided to allot extra time. However, since we have a change in numbers, we're going to lose 6 cars in Q1 and 6 cars in Q2. So you're still left with that nice round 10 cars battling for pole in Q3.
Math is great.
Math is great.
I'm so excited. I could not be more excited. They did that right. I don't think Q1 needs to be longer. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I don't.
I just am concerned about the battery management that is going to be the ever buzzword in this season, because now not only are you having to warm your tires up to the exact right heat, which takes some pace, but then you're not trying to expend your battery. So there's been maybe some talk that it's going to be like 2 prep laps. So we're just like blowing the billowing prep up longer and longer, plus 22 cars.
Now, Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to remind you
Mm-hmm.
that when I had a very big argument saying they should all have the same opportunity
Yeah.
to have the right start, you said, well, they should be better in qualifying.
Yeah, I still stand by that.
So they shouldn't get more time if they're going to, everybody gets the same amount of time.
I just think
if they didn't build the right engine, then that's their fault.
Are you salty about this?
I'm a little salty. Like, hold on to it.
I still stand by my comment. However, I just feel like as we add teams, there is a logical argument to be made for adding an extra minute to Q1. But they went with you. They don't agree with me. They didn't add time. So I think that is actually where a strong amount of chaos is going to be. I always love qualifying. Oh, you went and you came back.
Sorry, can I just, booyah, B words. I was holding it in. I was like, that's the final one. That's the period.
If you don't know us personally, I try not to curse, but I love a solid B words. Like it just packs the same punch. So somehow booyah B words as grown women has become a real staple in our vocabulary.
This is my favorite. Thank you.
I've been booyah'd.
Thank you for allowing me to booyah you.
Anytime, Elaine.
Okay, please continue because this is fascinating.
Well, I think that completes my thought in that qualifying is among my favorite things, and I think it's going to be even more compelling this year.
Yay. We all needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with quali out of the way, those are our newsroom updates. I would like to move us swiftly to Drive to Survive.
First of all, have you finished it?
Okay, full disclaimer. I have not finished it because the episodes are explicit, which means that when you have children, you have to wait until nighttime hours to watch, which definitely limited my window.
And
but
you're also a very busy human, so, you know.
Yes, I am. But I did make it to episode 5, so I'm more than halfway through. And of course, I have lots of thoughts.
Well, I asked that to make the baseline for thus far, 5 episodes in. What are you giving it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, I think this is interesting because we've already talked about what Rachel's rating would be. Mm-hmm. So far, I'm rating it pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's solid.
Yes.
That is more in line with where I would put it. It sounded like you were thinking like 10 out of 10. And I was like, I just don't agree.
No, I mean, I probably at this point would go 8 out of 10, but I know there are some things that are coming that probably won't be up to my standards. And then that will lower it to a 7. But yeah, the first few episodes were a good 8 out of 10. I loved it. There's always going to be things that they leave out that I don't appreciate. Right. But
okay, but share some highs. Like, what are your favorite things that you think they are doing so right thus far?
Okay. First, I just want to say that my favorite episode so far is episode 2, because this is where I realized that there is a man in Formula One that I have not given nearly enough deference to, that I have not looked at, did not even know his name, really, I'm going to be honest. And that man is Jonathan Wheatley. I am in love. I love him. I might love him more than James Vowles.
That's a strong statement, but I don't think one that is like not shared by others. I think Jonathan Wheatley hit that exact level of like relatable, professional, a little authentic, clear and wonderful with his drivers.
Yes.
That really captured everyone's attention.
Yes, 100%.
Key, not grimy.
Right.
I think that's important to say as a team principal.
Well, that is another reason why I was loving the Netflix show, is because they paired Jonathan Wheatley's episode with Flavio Briatore. So it turns out Jonathan Wheatley was a mechanic for Flavio when Flavio was at Benetton. I find that endlessly fascinating because, as they showed, this was a tale of two cities. That's, to me, what they could have called the episode, because of how Jonathan Wheatley runs. Oh, I don't think I introduced him. In case you don't know, Jonathan Wheatley is the team principal of Kick Sauber Stake, now known as Audi. And of course, Flavio is the team principal at Alpine.
He's not the team principal.
Oh,
He's an
excuse me.
advisor. We all call him the team principal
You're
because
right.
that's what he's acting as, but the man is not even an actual employee of Alpine. I think he's an employee of Renault.
I think now he will be an employee of none, hopefully.
Hopefully. We could only wish.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it was interesting to note in this episode because both teams had acquired an experienced driver and a rookie.
Mhm.
Now, this is how you realize what type of management strategy works.
Mhm.
Flavio, drive your fucking car. Don't fucking steer it into the wall. Keep the steering wheel in the fucking car. Blah, 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 blah. Jonathan Wheatley, did you get to spend some time with your family this weekend? It's very important that you recharge. We need to set expectations for gaining points. And also, we need to make sure that we foster his knowledge of team support.
Snaps for that man. That's great.
Which one do you think did better in the long run?
Yeah.
Jonathan Wheatley.
Yeah. No notes.
I mean, okay, here's also like a little appendix to that episode. I had no idea that Jack Doohan had death threats.
So I remember seeing him post a story after he had been ousted from that Alpine seat saying, please leave me and my family alone. And I didn't know the extent to which he was receiving these messages. I knew that there was, of course, in the internet age, probably some backlash of people who specifically wanted Colapinto in that seat. But I too did not realize the lengths to which these angered people were pursuing him and his family.
No, this was above and beyond. This is one of the reasons that I really liked the Netflix show. They could have sugarcoated this. They could have put it as like a powdered sugar donut, like, oh, he received death threats, but he was having a hard time at the team, so they ousted him. No, he had people with guns in the workout room when he was trying to work out with his girlfriend. I mean, how deplorable do you have to be to take that seriously enough?
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you? That's so awful.
I genuinely have no words because I just don't understand why the mentality that you need to reach to decide that sports matter that much to you.
And I can't imagine then being in the high pressure situation where then you have to race. That in and of itself, and getting no support.
Yeah.
You can see Jack Doohan walking away from cameras saying, what does it even matter? I'm not even allowed to say shit anyway. Like, he's being silenced. He's being compressed into a box and he's being shaken with no support whatsoever. I mean, that, don't like it. Don't like it. I felt bad for him when it happened and now I feel much worse.
Right.
He got shafted.
Absolutely.
Justice for Doohan.
Justice for Doohan. I am really excited for him to hopefully be in a healthy period of his life now as a reserve driver. I know it's a demotion in terms of your like racing career, but I really hope that this is a growth point, a foundation for him that he can enjoy life and not be concerned about his literal safety.
Yes.
My gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The last thing I want to jump on for Drive to Survive is Christian Horner. Now, I know you said you had feelings about the way they handled it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that overall, a large part of the reason that I was less interested in this season is because I feel like it's the team principal show. And I think in past seasons, we got to see the team principals as characters, and I feel like that's really interesting. I definitely bought into that in the early seasons. I think I pay almost as much attention. No, I think I pay about 30% as much attention to the team principals as I do to the drivers. They are people that I'm interested in their stories. However, they are never going to be more interesting than the actual racing, than the actual drivers to me. And I feel like the ratio of driver to team principal was like so heavily in favor of team principal in this season. That being said, a large portion of that is Zach Brown is not my favorite, and Zach Brown was everywhere this season. But I will say, it felt like a more balanced portrayal of him in that he played into the character that I think he thinks he's supposed to play. And you saw him both play that in scenarios that made him look tolerable. And then you also saw him basically make a caricature of himself. And they showed both of those things. I don't feel like we got the same push and pull with Christian Horner. It felt like they were trying to powdered sugar donut that and say, oh, he didn't know this was going to happen and the team was not performing well. And oh no, now he's sitting in his gorgeous house with his gorgeous wife with whom he allegedly has cheated on, having to watch the commentary of the race. I don't care. I am so glad. Ugh, calm down, Rachel. I'm so glad he is gone. I think the sport is better for it as we again talk about Laura Meckies. The team just seems to be in a much more healthy place for them to grow and give us better racing because the people are supported. I wanted to see Christian Horner lambasted. I am a nice person, I hope, I think. But I wanted to see the behind the scenes of that. And I understand they are limited to what they can film. And of course, they cannot barge themselves into these legal proceedings, literally. However, I was really hoping for more of the behind the scenes of what happened with Horner. And I feel like that was just swept under the rug and given almost like a consolation prize of like, you've been a big character on this show. We're going to give you a nice ousting and a nice overlap into your next Alpine foray. And I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. Fair. You said that to me before I, in fact, watched the Horner firing episode. So I went to it with those eyes.
I colored it a little bit.
No. I'm glad you did because my journalistic sensors going off. Yeah. Looking to see how they would round the story, favor it one way or the other. And I agree with you, but also I think they did a very sneaky job of making it more even than we think.
Okay, how so?
They did Horner did this whole thing about throwing Helmut Marko under the bus.
Right.
Basically saying, it wasn't my decision to fire Leatham. That came from Helmut Marko. What? No, absolutely not. Wasn't my fault. Basically, like crying. There were all these decisions that weren't me. It was a group of people who decided this, and Helmut Marko was the driving force. I would have done things completely differently. Bullshit. And you know who calls him out? Literally right after that sad speech is over, Will Buxton. Will Buxton comes down and he goes, you can't deny that Horner was the face of Red Bull. You can't deny all of the great things that he did over these seasons. But at the end of the day, Horner was behind every firing and every hiring.
That's true.
Horner was behind it all. And that statement to me was enough of a fuck you that I was like, yes, that's exactly right. You can look at it one way. Yes, he was a legend in the sport and he's a lying piece of shit. So, I mean, I think that can be true for a lot of people.
For sure.
So, yes. I think they fluffed it. They fluffed his balls a little bit, but they gave him a slap too, which fine with me.
Okay. I think I didn't pay as much attention to that slap, but hearing that again, I can hear you. That is one time that I wish there was less subtlety, but I can see that was a subtle nuance.
I mean, of course.
Addition.
Yeah, that also makes me wonder if they're not allowed to talk about the court proceedings, how much they're allowed to.
Anything else that you want to highlight in Drive to Survive?
Yes. I know we're going to glance over the McLaren episode because I think you and I both agree that they don't dive into papaya rules nearly enough.
Yeah.
But I would like to end my episode 5. The only note I wrote is Leclerc's quote. And he said during the Lego race, this is the best quote I've ever heard. You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do. And I disagree with you vehemently that this is the best quote you've ever heard.
But it encapsulates the Ferrari season and just the whole attitude of the season from Leclerc. He says, it ended sadly, but it was the best race of the season for us.
Oh, my boy, Charles.
Chaos. And that episode wasn't even about Ferrari. It was about Carlos at Williams. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, man, Williams got a steal with Carlos. Like, yeah.
Overall, I think people should still watch this. I still think that Drive to Survive is a net added to Formula One as an entity. I do not want it to end. I just want them to evolve. I feel like this overall was like a kind of not super well done recap of the season, whereas I used to feel like they were doing real storytelling. And I think this is a spot that they missed with both Carlos, with Lewis. I think that the story of them struggling wasn't really told. I feel like it was really glanced over. And something that's really highlighted as definitely glanced over online is Hadjar's crash in Australia to his podium. And people have pointed out they can't be filming all the time. So I understand that there are limitations to what they have. And I think the biggest storytelling thing that they missed is the papaya rules versus Max Verstappen. But I also will give them that Max Verstappen does not really like to be interviewed. And so it's hard to make an absolute main character of someone who will not join you on your behind the scenes show. So I want to say that I'm like coming down hard on it. People should still watch it. You're going to really enjoy it. I hope that you rate it extremely highly.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm ready for them to evolve.
Here's what I think happened. I think, one, you hit the nail on the head. This season is about the team principals rather than the drivers. I think that's probably because of many different things.
Yeah.
Mainly, i.e., you said the drivers are not as willing to be interviewed. I think that's correct.
And they're also more aware that everything that they're saying is being captured.
Yes.
It's almost like they have like looped themselves into a very difficult corner, that this has been such a smash success that it's now like part of life. Oh, the Netflix crew is with us. And
Yes.
so people are not only more PR'd, but they're also like, oh, that's Netflix. And we know Billy over there.
Yeah.
He's been with Netflix for the last 8 seasons. He's really going to grab it right away.
I think that actually led to a few more candid moments than they thought
You think?
they would have. But again, I'm only on the 5th episode. I just think, per your storytelling critique, I think there was so much that went on this season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's possible to do one solid storyline as much as they were able to. Like the Checo season where he started close to Max and then he is essentially bombed and he was fired.
Mm-hmm.
That was a whole storyline that they were able to follow because that was one of the main storylines. This last season was insane.
True.
Was insane. So I understand why. I think I'm liking all these little snippets.
Okay.
They obviously could have done 10 more episodes just on Carlos Sainz.
Well, that's another thing, is that they had so much to cover and I feel like they didn't nail it on any one part. I feel like they kind of tried to do all of it, but they only gave us 8 episodes. A normal Drive to Survive season is 10 episodes. And so I feel like, I don't know why.
They were a little longer.
They were a little longer. However, I feel like I would have preferred really narrowing in on a few as opposed to trying to just do an overview.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just my thought. Let us know what you guys think. Because
Yeah.
we've got both sides of the coin here.
Yes.
And we both say Drive to Survive is good.
Yes. All fair
Keep
points.
making it.
Keep making it. Keep watching it.
Mhm.
And don't, for the love of God, diss anyone for starting and ending their fandom with Drive to Survive.
Retweet.
We are, thank you. Retweet.
We've never been on Twitter.
This is my favorite thing that you say. Yeah, no one knows anything about Twitter. Yeah. So I'll retweet that. You retweet it for us. Can we talk about Australia now?
Heck freaking yes, we can. I am so excited. The end.
And that's all.
Yeah. See you next week.
Okay, tell me why. Why are you excited, Rachel?
Well, first of all, we get a first of its kind, really big win for women. This is the In Her Corner initiative, which is a partnership between the Engineers Australia and the Australian Grand Prix Corporation. They are naming Turn 6 in Melbourne after Hannah Schmitz and Laura Moeller. Like, chills. I just...
Let's fucking go. We're here. Close your ears, Rachel.
Okay.
Pussy power.
Oh.
We're here. It's amazing. I'm so excited. And guess what? The memo probably wasn't pink. It probably wasn't in a girly font because we can read and we don't need pink to read. So
we can like pink and also we can read in other colors. That's true.
I mean,
yeah. I don't know what that's going to look like yet in terms of like the presentation of it, but this is the first time that we're getting this sector of people honored in this way. Like there are many turns, there are many corners that are named after incredible F1 drivers. And so the fact that it's women and it's also the team is being honored. So I think you have a huge win in 2 camps here.
Okay. And remind us, what do Laura Mueller and Hannah Schmidt do?
Red Bull's Hannah Schmitz, she is the head of race strategy there. And the last time we saw her most visible absolute strategy win was in Qatar last year with Max Verstappen. This is the time that the McLarens just super bafflingly decided not to pit under a safety car. Literally every other car came in. And Max, the star of Elaine's heart, won the race, and Hannah Schmitz was up there on the podium with him. What a moment.
Hannah!
That was not her first time on the podium, but it's just like, Hannah, we love you. We celebrate you.
Yes.
All of the above.
Yes, that might as well, for me, have been her first podium next to Max because that was so iconic
Yeah.
and it was so clearly at her direction. I will also say Hannah has given me one of my favorite memes in Formula One, which is when they really screwed the pooch on strategy 2 years ago. There's a meme of Hannah and she has her head in her hand and she looks so distressed and she's basically crying. And everyone's
Me
like,
every day.
Yeah. Everybody's like, I feel you, Hannah. I feel you. But yes, she is iconic for so many reasons. And yeah, Red Bull is so lucky to have her.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yeah. Tell us about Laura.
Oh, I love Laura Mueller. I did a little bit on her a few episodes ago. If you're curious about that, we can link that and you can go back and listen. But she is the race engineer at Haas for Esteban Ocon. I think her story is amazing just because of she just worked her way up to get there and she took seize of every opportunity. She also takes no shit. So when Esteban Ocon gets a little tooty, she gives it right back. She's able to absorb, she's able to rise above, and they communicate clearly. And whereas Esteban Ocon is not my favorite driver on the grid, I think he has benefited from Laura Mueller's expertise.
And has sung her praises.
Yes.
So I think this is a really strong partnership. Looking at Hamilton and Ferrari, they have switched his race engineer, but we don't know who it is yet. So, question marks.
It's sad that it's not Bono.
Well, no, I want Bono and Kimi to stay together. I understand that Bono and Hamilton have like years and years of experience. But have you ever been in like a spot in dance where you're like, I feel so comfortable. I feel so comfortable that you end up not always achieving your next level of being pushed because you're so comfortable in that position. I wonder if it is actually a good change for both of them to have a new relationship.
Yeah.
You know that works, but sometimes you're not ever going to level up unless you introduce some new stimuli.
Yes. Yes. That's a great point.
So,
all right.
It obviously has not panned out super great for Hamilton as of yet, but I have hope. I mean, I don't, but I try to have hope that this is going to go well. It just makes me nervous that we don't know who it is yet. Like he had a temporary person in testing.
Yeah.
We have talked about how much this regulation era is going to require management, and management of like communication between the driver and the race engineer is only going on like a really stark upward trend.
Yes.
So it is wild to me that perhaps he's going to be with someone brand new this weekend.
Hamilton is a veteran. He's done this many times. I trust him to be on it. He probably has already found somebody. He's not announcing it, or he is comfortable with whoever they're going to select. Like he's worked with them before. Who knows? I'm not worried about Hamilton, honestly.
Are you worried about anyone coming into this weekend? Everyone, all of the above, racing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about everyone. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. So, except for Hamilton, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, he's safe. Everyone else.
He's just going to do what he's going to do. But everybody else should watch out because no one knows how these cars are going to react.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So last year, the first race of the season was won by Lando Norris. Do we think he's going to do well this year?
Yes, I think he's going to do well.
Okay. Why? Can we look at the circuit facts? Do you have your book?
Normally, we have our Formula Fanatics book for the entire calendar year. And it has all of the races stats. It has a picture of the track, and then it gives you space to write all of your drivers' predictions, qualifying, whatever happened. I forgot to bring it.
But we'll have it in picture next week.
Next week. But I think I think their car is just looking reliable. Okay. Honestly, that's the base fact, is that in all of these testing runs, McLaren looked steady. Steady on. I think Lando will do fine. I'm not worried about Lando, I guess, either. Hamilton and Lando, not worried about them.
I am a touch worried about Oscar Piastri.
Oh.
Here is why. You know I love him. You know I rate him extraordinarily highly.
Yes.
He was struggling with low grip tracks last year. That was like the back half of the season when he had that massive slump. We were at a lot of low grip tracks. I always say we as if I am with the F1 circus every time.
You are.
We in spirit. They were there. I was in my home. Oscar Piastri struggles with low grip. We already know that this era of cars, as of right now, have a lot less grip. A lot of power, less grip. Australia, Melbourne, it's a street track. It's not your like cityest street track, but it is a street track. There are portions of the circuit that are normal roads, normal car roads. That's what I mean there. And so those tend to be not the like tarmac kind of track thing that we're used to at a purpose-built circuit. And so less grip overall in this car, less grip partially in these sections of the circuit. And so I'm a little worried. A little worried.
All right.
But we got a lot of high speed. We got some like medium to high speed corners, 14 corners. It's going to be interesting in terms of battery management. I'm really interested to see how they are harvesting energy on those straights into the corners. Are they going to lift and coast? How much super clipping? Blah, blah, blah. We're going to learn. Our brains are going to be like,
yeah,
explode from all the new data.
That's what I was going to say is I am not really going to understand how these cars work until I actually see them in action.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that we're going to see a lot of penalties because they are still figuring out when to push the buttons.
Oh,
and don't you know?
That's a good point.
And there's only specific times you can push certain buttons.
We're going to learn so much. I'm going to be there. We're having like a little get together, but it's mostly going to be me sitting there antisocially taking notes on my on my notepad.
Rachel, that is not true. We are going to be so hype. We're going to make pavlova. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, I would love to get to our predictions. You wrote down some listener predictions. The Finish Line podcast predicts that Max Verstappen. Actually, you wrote Max Verstappen, which I absolutely love. I think Max Verstappen is going to do real well. Liz Bredley.
I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm sorry if we got it wrong.
They're backing Lando.
Yeah.
Love that. JBW720 says, our sweet Italian Prince Kimi.
Love.
Motorsport Max says Oscar, as does Kanam Dance. Oscar or Wildcard Hajar. Love.
Chaos. Give it to us.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing a new thing.
So for the for the predictions, Rachel had an excellent idea that we could do it. Spin the field.
Spin the field. We are going to, in an effort to put focus on the entire talented grid, we often talk about the people at the very front, but we sometimes don't talk about, well, we're probably going to talk about Bottas a lot because you love him. But we're going to spin the wheel of all 22 drivers each preview episode, and we're going to select someone and we're going to predict where in the field they're going to finish the race.
Oh, I love this.
Yes.
I love this idea.
Are you ready to spin that wheel?
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Okay, click to spin. Here we go. This week's driver is, I can't ever drum roll. Perfect. It's Arvid Lindblad.
Oh, wow. All right. How are we supposed to do Arvid eyebrows? Honestly, I don't think this is going to be a points situation.
Sure.
I think this is probably going to be a somewhere around P15.
Okay. P15 from you for Arvid eyebrows. I'm going to guess that it's going to be a P19.
Ooh.
A P19.
Okay.
I think it's going to take him just a second.
Yeah.
I also think the V-carb doesn't look that good, as we talked about last week.
That's fair.
So P19 and P15, let us know where you think Arvid is going to land in his first F1 race debut. Brand new baby. We're so excited to see him race.
Did the eyebrows even fit inside the helmet?
Probably not. Too glamorous.
They're too bushy and beautiful.
Yeah, love them.
They deserve their own Instagram account.
I want him to do a helmet that just like you have like the visor and he can see, but then it's also a little higher. So we get like the whole picture here.
I thought you were going to say, I want eyebrows drawn on his helmet.
That is probably a more likely scenario of what we could get. So if his helmet designer is listening.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Hello.
Put eyebrows on that helmet, y'all.
Please put eyebrows on his helmet. They are glamorous and gorgeous.
Yes. Okay. Now we have to predict. We have to predict who's going to win the race.
Okay. I want you to go first.
I think it is our sweet baby Italian teenager, Kimi Antonelli.
Oh,
JBW720. I agree with you. Wow. I think Kimi is going to take this first win.
Okay. I'm waffling between Max Verstappen and George Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good calls. Good calls.
You know who I'm really backing.
Well,
though,
of
yes.
course. And I mean, we know that I'd really like Charles Leclerc and his newly marital bliss to win the race, but I think that the Mercedes have a really good bid. I think they have a really good bid.
Bid, not
Bid, B-I-D.
Okay.
Bed.
They
I
probably
think
have
that
good
George
beds.
Russell is very fastidious about the bedding that he brings to the race. The man brings his own comforter, his own pillow.
His own skincare that smells like semen.
Let me tell you, who is in charge of counseling him on what to say? Because they got it wrong. They got it wrong last year.
I disagree.
The scene of him sharing about the Las Vegas like pleasure kit, too much for me. And if you were trying to market your skincare, perhaps don't release that detail to the worldwide public. That's
Listen.
just bad marketing.
George, don't listen. Don't listen to anything that she just said. You keep doing you, baby boo. I want to hear everything you have to say about your skincare and
Quote, unquote. Yeah.
and whatever happened at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. You share it with me. Okay?
Okay.
Yay.
Well, what a beefy episode.
Oh,
We hit
God.
so many things. We went from romance to politics to Melbourne and the extreme excitement that we have.
Yep.
Eyebrows. It's been a lot. It's been a journey.
I'm sweating. It's so exciting. All right. When we come back next week, we will have the results of the Australian Grand Prix for you. We will have some fun facts. We will let you know how late we were able to hang for the Australian Grand
Yes.
Prix. It starts at 10 p.m. our time where we are recording. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to stay up for the whole thing.
Sure.
And
Sure. There is no option.
Yes, hopefully there will be chaos. And please let us know, even after the race, before we've recorded, let us know either what you think happens, what has happened, what was your favorite part that happened. Does that make sense?
No. But
Okay.
I think we all get it. Let us know.
Share anything with us. Did you do laundry today? We want to know about it.
We're very involved podcasters.
We are. We
Yeah.
like you. We like all of you. All right. So follow us on all the socials. We will make sure to keep doing updates as the week progresses, as the drivers show up. Yeah, stick with us.
Yeah.
We can't wait for this
Legs
next
out.
season. So with that, it's legs out and away we go. We'll see you next time.